What is up, you guys? So today we are gonna have a little sit with Ange and have a chat day type thing. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I did post polls about what you guys wanted to see. It was between a dumbbell only booty workout, which I will film for the next video, but majority of you guys wanted to see why I stopped tracking macros. So to start off, we definitely should talk about what macros even are. If you don't know, macros are your carbs, protein, and fats. And counting your macros means that you are tracking how much of each you are intaking per day. So basically what you do is you're calculating how many carbs, proteins, and fats you need to have in a day for your goal. So if you want to lose weight, typically you want to be in a caloric deficit. If you want to maintain weight, you want to be eating the same amount of calories or around it that you burn in a day. And then if you want to gain muscle or gain weight, then you would want to be in a caloric surplus. So with tracking macros, you have to have a food scale because you need to be able to weigh things out. A lot of people kind of guesstimate after a while, or they just are smart and can guesstimate. But you need that, and then you want to go ahead and you weigh basically everything you eat. A lot of people don't weigh out the vegetables because they're very little in the amount that you get. So basically, like, I wouldn't track my spinach because 45 grams of spinach is a lot, but it's 0.5 carbs or something. Like, it's basically nothing. So a lot of people don't do that. So with tracking macros, typically you have a higher protein, and then depending on your body type, you have a higher fat, a higher carb. For me, I used to be really low carb and like high-ish fat when I first started counting macros. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's put a disclaimer for the beginning, because future Angelique wants to just say I am not dissing macros in any way. I am not saying you shouldn't track macros, and I am definitely not saying that tracking macros is bad. I am just giving my personal experience with it, and it's kind of a warning to people who want to track macros, just saying, hey, if you want to track macros, that's cool, but try not to become obsessed with it. And just because one girl's tracking macros and her macros are a certain thing does not mean your macros need to be a certain thing. You are two different people. You have two different body types. Some people go to the extreme, like what I did, which you will see, and some people do it the right way. Try and do it the right way. Do your research. Honestly, I did my research and I still didn't even listen to it most of the time. Do your research. So I started counting macros back in March of 2016, so over a year ago, and I counted macros from like the end of March until probably July. And in that time, I didn't take it too seriously. March, April, starting May, I took it really seriously. I went through a really hard breakup and I wanted my revenge body, and so I started tracking macros religiously, and I ended up dropping 20 pounds, and it was not fun. I was hangry all the damn time. My macros were 100, hold on, I'm gonna go on my fitness pal and show you guys. But basically, I was not eating enough. I was eating like I was on prep for a bikini competition, and that was because all the girls on Instagram, their macros were like 100 grams of carbs. And so I was like, I need to be eating 100 grams of carbs. And so I would go online to Katie Hearn macro calculator, and I would literally adjust it so that my carbs was 100 grams of carbs, and then everything else was adjusted to whatever. And I mean, it worked. I lost weight and it was cool, but I was not happy. Still thought I was too big. I still thought I was fat. I'm gonna go ahead and like insert pictures here of what I looked like at the time, and I swore that I was still fat. I thought I was big. I thought my hips were too big. I thought I had too much body fat. And I don't know why I thought that way, but the fitness industry was preaching counting macros. And so me and two friends decided we were gonna do it, and I took the bull by the horns and I went for it, and I did it in a very unhealthy way. So that's why I stopped tracking macros. And honestly, like I have nothing against counting macros. I feel like now in my mental state, it would be easier for me to track my macros. I tried to count my macros when I started bulking afterwards, and I was just so happy to be eating that I didn't count. I just stopped. Um, I feel like to count macros, you need to be in a good mental state, and that's why people who do bikini competitions or anything, they say that it's challenging. When I was counting macros, I carried my scale everywhere with me. My family made fun of me. My scale was in my purse or in my car with me at all times. I took it to work to count, to track if I ate a freaking piece of candy that day, or if I decided to have a snack that someone brought in, like I would weigh it out and make sure that I at least put something into my MyFitnessPal. And it was just so bad. So bad. Let me go ahead and pull up these macros really quick. So my macros on June 1st, 2016 was 103 carbs, 42 fats, and 145 grams of protein. What? I literally was starving myself, you guys, like, and I don't know why I thought that was okay. I have a friend who tracks macros, and when I met her, she's on prep for a bikini competition, and she was like, I'm eating like 200 grams of carbs a day, like, or like almost 300. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I was eating 100, like this calculator told me, and these people are saying this. And so it's easy to get influenced by people who are doing things the wrong way. And I definitely let that happen. And it was so bad. And I feel like I wasn't a pleasant person to be around either. Like, I don't know. But basically, that was that. I was eating so much protein, like I had to start like drinking so much juice and stuff. And I would have to drink a lot of coffee just to make sure, this getting the nitty gritty, that I would go to the bathroom because I was eating so much protein. An average day, ooh, I'm gonna show you what an average meal looked like. Let's see what my meal was that day. Okay, so this is what I would eat on like an average day. I would eat a serving of oatmeal, 75 grams of bananas, egg whites, and soy milk with protein powder, so protein shake. So protein shake, oatmeal, with bananas and egg whites. For lunch, I would have chicken, which, let's see how many grams of chicken that said. 53 grams of chicken, 20 grams of salad dressing, and 43 grams of baby spinach. That was my lunch. For dinner, I would have a protein shake, egg whites, spinach, and mushrooms. And then my snacks consisted of a protein shake, nectarines, and chocolate rice cakes, and a Baby Bell, maybe 2 Baby Bells, depending on the day. That sounds terrible, you guys. What was I doing? I stopped tracking macros because I was doing it in an unhealthy way, and I was in a bad mental state. And I'm not preaching to not track macros, because I honestly think tracking macros works. It works for people, but make sure you're doing it the right way. Carbs, you guys, are not the enemy. Carbs are great for you. People are always like, I'm gonna go on a no carb diet, and then I see them mention on carrots, and then I'm like, you know that fruits and vegetables are carbs, right? Carbs are fine. They're fine. It's the complex carbs that you want to cut out. You don't want to be eating processed foods all the time. Cut that out, and I promise you, you'll see just results in just that. Carbs, I feel like carbs have such a negative image, and I don't understand why. I love carbs. I love carbs so much. Seriously, that's a little extreme. My foot's asleep. Oh my God. Ow. Ow. My leg is asleep. Oh my. But basically, when you're tracking macros, you weigh out all your food and make sure that you're eating the proper amount that you should be eating for your fitness goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't go into the negative influences that come with it. I honestly believe if it fits your macros, I believe in cheat days. I believe in giving yourself a break. I believe in eating in moderation, and I believe in trying to incorporate a healthy style as best as you can, but don't make yourself suffer and not enjoy the little things in life like pizza. I got so obsessed with it. Like, I still kind of get obsessed with it sometimes. Like, I'm like eating and I'm like looking in the mirror. I'm like, I'm not as thin as I was, but I dropped 20 pounds in like 3 months. That's not healthy. I was still working out all the time. I was doing an hour of cardio every single day, tracking macros, still lifting heavy, and I was miserable. I sure I looked good, but it was not worth it. And I still didn't think I looked good. And I still wear the same size and everything. I'm probably honestly have to size down in Lulu soon, and I still don't think I'm as thin. I'm definitely not as thin as I was then. I was 130 pounds bobblehead, and right now I'm 167 pounds. And I mean, I still wear the same size and everything. I gained weight, and I gained weight real quick afterwards. I had a really hard rebound, and I don't know. I'm not dissing tracking macros at all, because like it works for people, and obviously people still do it, and it's great. And if you are in a what is this doing? If you're in a if you're in a mental place where you are happy with yourself, or you know that you are not going to get obsessive over it, then do it. But once you feel yourself getting obsessed, or if people are making little comments like, oh, like you're gonna weigh that out, oh, like you brought your scale to the restaurant, like, then take a step back and realize that there's something wrong. I literally took my scale to Vegas with me. Why? I would take my scale everywhere, and my family would always make like, oh, like, are you sure that fits your macros? Oh, and I'm like, yeah, actually it does, because I weighed it out. And I'm like, I completely was missing the point. And I got too obsessive with it. Like, I probably could do it right now if I wanted to, but I wouldn't take it as seriously as I did, and I don't want to take it as seriously as I did. I will link so many articles down below that helped me after the fact, that honestly have inspired me to try tracking macros again, or just maybe doing it every now and then. Intuitive eating works for me. If it fits your macros, works for others. Counting macros was cool. You know, you're weighing out food, you're seeing things, you get to try new things. I see the flexible dieting people like making these really cool contractions that I used to try and do. I remember I used to make pizza, and it was a whole wheat carb balanced tortilla with the Safeway like signature pizza sauce, because that had the lowest fat and stuff, and then either low fat or no fat mozzarella cheese and turkey pepperoni. And I would bake that and I'd eat that all the time. And oh, so good. Literally, those are my life. I eat those all the time. But, you know, sometimes I just really wanted Toppers. Toppers Pizza is life, just so you guys know. Or Domino's, or wherever pizza's around you. Tracking macros is cool. Tracking macros was a thing for a while. And I just think that you need to do your research before you do things with anything in the fitness industry. Do your research before you take supplements. I know I've jumped on bandwagons with things because these influencers are posting about it and it seems cool. I've never tried flat tummy tea or any of that kind of stuff. So please just do your research. Find out what works for you. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I would be happy to answer. Tracking macros was just a lot for me, and I was not in a mental place or to even be doing something like that. I was going through a breakup. I was obsessed with trying to have the control over something in my life, and that was that. I went to the gym and I went to work, and that was it for 3 months. It was my summer, and it had a big toll. Like, I look back at it and I can't believe that like I was eating like that. Like, since I stopped, I started doing intuitive eating, and I feel like that just kind of works better for me. I kind of do know the portions and guess off of it because I did count macros for some time, and I feel like just intuitively eating, being smart about my decisions, eating in moderation, even though I still eat in excess sometimes. I feel like that just works for me. I'm interested to try it again. If you guys want, actually, if you guys want to see me track macros again and like do like a vlog series of it, like, I don't know, we'll come up with a cool name for it, and it'll be like Tracking Macros Take 2. I don't know, the road to macros. And I'll start tracking macros again, like for maybe a month, and we'll see how it goes. So again, I just encourage you guys to do your research. Make sure that it's something that you mentally can deal with. Sorry if it seemed like I was bashing on macros, because I wasn't. I just had a really bad experience with it. I was in bad mental state again, and I don't know. I didn't hate it. I loved counting macros. That was the thing. I loved it at the time, but looking back at it, I shouldn't have been doing it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see a series where I try and track macros again, please let me know. If there's anything you guys want to see, or if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'm sorry if you feel like I bashed macros. It's just my personal experience. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will go ahead and catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.